Yeah. Welcome to the show. Let's party, Bryan! Woo, 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 woo!
Throw your hands in the air, throw your hands in the air, throw your hands in the air. Wave your tits like you don't care. Wave your tits like you don't care. Wave your tits like you don't care. Wave your tits like you don't care.
The bass gets smooth. Check one, check one. When I come down right to the sun. So dance, while I put you in a trance. Put you in a trance.
My third eye is open, and your vertical smile better be too.
Welcome to the show. Hi, everybody. High energy. We're jumping right into it now. We're getting right to it, boys and girls, cousins, sisters, husbands and wives, every member of your family. Gather around.
Hey now, gather around TV.
King Lord Bryan's here. The
What's
TV has got a warm glow emanates into the room. Thank you for letting us into your living rooms this evening,
That's right.
folks. We sure are happy to be here. Wait a minute. The soothing sounds of your poorly played stream. Always here for you. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Aren't we glad to be joining you today? The answer, Bryan?
Yes.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
It's up to us
What?
to take out Umbrella.
Oh! All right, enough of that. That's for later on in the show. We are playing more Samurai Shodown, and I say it that way because it's spelled that way. Bryan, did you hear me?
Yeah.
Shodown.
Shodown.
Samurai Shodown. Hey, what?
It's up to us to take out Umbrella.
Not Leon.
That was
Shut up.
That
dude.
sounds like a shitty Solid Snake.
Really?
Yeah.
Shitty Solid Snake. That's 100% Leon S. Kennedy.
From which game?
2.
Oh.
Wait, hold on a sec. Here we go.
Hey, it's up to us to take out Umbrella.
I like it.
Hey.
It's we got the duality of haze.
Hey.
It's strange.
Hey.
Otacon.
It's up
Meryl.
Hey. It's up.
All right, enough.
There you go.
Hey, enough. We are playing
nice.
the SNK classic fighting game, Samurai Shodown. We played this a couple weeks ago, maybe over a month ago at this point.
Might have been, yeah.
Our friends over at SNK hooked us up with the entire character roster.
What?
And this game was just updated for... We're playing on a PS5, but this is the PS4 copy. Also for Xbox. The consoles finally got the rollback netcode update that was previously available for the Steam version of the game, the PC version. But now the console versions are all caught up. So you have that ideal online
No late
formula right there with the. I had to like look up what that is.
Oh yeah,
because I've only seen memes about what rollback netcode are. Like it's like the Walmart like rollback logo.
Yeah.
And someone has like photoshopped it to say netcode, and it's like a Wojak going like, you know, with a fucking fighting stick in his hand.
Yeah.
I don't. But otherwise, I'm like, I don't know. Why is he happy about this Walmart sale? I don't know. I don't get it.
It's a big deal.
I don't get it. But yeah, we've got a lot of show in store for you. You can see right now the IRL Twitch chat is up.
So what?
You could join us in the Twitch chat if you so please. We are also broadcasting out on YouTube.
What's up, YouTube?
We're going to be talking about the upcoming Tuesday. It's Mega 64 Day, Rocco. Rocco.
Whoa.
Wait, where's Rocco?
I'm a big deal.
Was Rocco here?
I'm a big deal.
Brian, excuse me.
Yes.
This Tuesday, upcoming 6-4 Day. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go over some of the highlights of programming for you folks at home. But let's just jump right in. So this, you know, sadly, I'm terrible at online versions. So I think I'm going to be sticking to story. So we don't get any of that lovely rollback. But we get to expand our character roster. And this week, play as some of the new cast. I like that this guy's got, like, ears that look like Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. He's got them elf ears. Pointy. I was playing with a character the other day. I was just fucking around with this game, and I found Baiken.
Okay.
Baiken is a new character we didn't play with last week. And, man, I'm a big fan of hers. Learned all about the story, learned all about, you know, Brian might figure out why I'm a big fan here in a second, but can't say I didn't take a double take when they, you know, showcased her costume here in a second. Well, we're gonna learn about all the fire and the famine, all the bad stuff, you know, all the naughty shit that we don't like. But how the hell are you? How's KLBR going?
Well, it's back after being suspended.
You were given
So
a little
it's
slap
nice.
on the wrist.
A little, don't do
Whoa!
that. Hey now.
There she is.
Hey now. Yeah, a little slap on the wrist, a little don't do that for 7 days. My account was suspended. But it's back now. We'll be back tomorrow night, Thursday night, as I am on every Thursday. New time, 6 p.m. Pacific,
Hell yeah.
9 Eastern. I want to get some of the East Coast people some time.
Yeah, if you're
'Cause I go
watching
late.
this now and you haven't joined in on KLBR radio,
Yeah.
Thursday's the day to do it. That's tomorrow. That's the big video happy hour. You want those East Coasters to hit you up?
I do.
Tell them to get in there, man.
I like them.
You got to check it out. Every week, Brian also streams from the KLBR account.
You got it.
He's also up there with the big dogs.
Over on Frank's channel, too.
Yep.
Who's actually at Dynamite tonight.
He's at a live taping of
Yeah,
fucking
it's back at the
Dynamite.
Forum.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Damn, dog. We have a lot, you know, we just had Double or Nothing, which is arguably AEW's biggest. All In is pretty big.
Double or
But
Nothing,
Double or Nothing, I feel like, is their WrestleMania.
it kind of was their first pay-per-view.
Oh,
Like,
this guy.
officially.
Kabuki, dude. Yeah, it was the first one, right?
I feel like, yeah.
Is that why it kind of
after-
became the, like, main show, their WrestleMania, if you will?
Well, I think now Revolution is probably more like the WrestleMania. But I don't know.
Revolution, okay.
It's kind of hard to say. It's really hard to say if they, like, their WrestleMania now I think is going to be all in Wembley.
Ah.
Just because it's so big.
It's so big that they do it over in the UK, but that's kind of shit because none of their huge audience in the US can go to that show.
I mean, it's not that.
Far less.
Yeah,
Far less than would attend a Mania. Okay.
that's true.
Now, if I remember correctly, it's light, medium, heavy. Oh, yeah, there it is. Boom, boom. Damn, I'm getting jacked here. Light. How about light, heavy? It didn't do anything. Because there's also the combos where you hit 2 at once, right? And then there's kicks. Let me get some fucking kicks in here. Ooh.
Nice.
I'm covered in blood at this point. There we go. There
I
we
love how
sealed the
gory
victory.
This game is.
Yeah, you can turn off blood and dismemberments. It's
Whoa.
it's a interesting. Why would you do that?
I still haven't seen anybody get dismembered.
It's funny that it's like in both. The one setting is phrased with both things. Like, you want to turn off blood and dismemberments? It's like, well, what if I just want blood, but dismemberments are too far? Shit, I can't get in tight. I burned up my, like, rage gauge or whatever early. He hasn't used his yet. Ooh, fuck. Perfect fucking parry right there. The block is key, but it's just the back button at the correct time. Now I'm playing again like we did a couple weeks ago on, I believe, the second difficulty setting, number 2. So I like bumped it down a tick from the default of 3. But man, like, I said this before when we played, when I bumped it down to 1, it was like so easy.
Yeah.
But this guy also, being my first opponent, is not really giving me much of a challenge.
No.
I'm just kind of trying to get reacquainted with the controls too. So I got kick, light, medium, heavy. Whoop, jump, jump. Ooh, fa. Ooh, fa. He got me with the spear.
Little fucker.
Big spear. What have you been playing on your personal time? I know you're back from the KLBR ban, but since you've had that week off to not stream, are you playing anything just at home?
I didn't get a lot of time because I've been busy with outside work.
Outside interference? 'Cause I've been just so into the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth still. Like,
Yeah.
just pumping through. I just got to the Costa del Sol area.
Yeah, that's I just finished that. That's so.
Oh, you're just slowly going through that too then? That's
yeah. What I love about this game is it doesn't make you do.
Missed that grab there.
It doesn't make you do super long things, you know?
Yeah,
like, it paced very well.
Even like, you know, before I was coming here, I was doing, you know, the ship that takes you over from Junon to Costa del Sol. It got attacked by monsters.
Yeah.
And I had to, oh fuck, I have all these fights. And there was like a mini boss battle, a Genova version popped out of nowhere. And it was like before I was coming here, I thought like, oh, now I'm going to be late. But it's like, no, fight takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's
at
not,
most.
Yeah, it's not like it was when we were a kid where it's like, oh my god,
and that
20-minute fucking fight.
Yeah, it's not Knights of the Round. I gotta wait for 10 minutes to finish. It's like, no, the Genova fight will take about 5 minutes, and then there'll be 5 minutes of cutscenes, and I'll be at the next area. It is good. It's well paced. I think we're gonna play that. We've got a little mini show coming up for 6-4 Day, Brian.
I know.
We're gonna do a special little session, and that's what I was thinking. Like, what do we play that's just fun to talk about? But we've both been just loving Final Fantasy.
This coming June 4th, if you're hearing this,
that's right.
You still have time. If this is on YouTube, you still got time.
Live June 4th, going live at noon. We're gonna get the schedule up here, and we're gonna check Mega 64's Twitter in a sec. But all day long, broadcasting for 6-4 Day. And you know, last year you got a banger. You got the Golem Subway mukbang video. So this week, I'm sorry, it is next week, but this year you're also gonna help us in the Twitch chat create a brand new sketch here at Mega 64. My favorite part of 6-4 Day, the new tradition here, where we use the Twitch chat to help us create a sketch. That's something I'm most looking forward to. Not tomorrow. What am I saying? Tuesday. But yeah, it's gonna be good. This guy is, I remember playing as him last time, Jubei.
Yeah, he's a pretty fun guy.
Well, and also this is like the ninja that I hear and read and like have seen in animes. Like the Jubei story, I think is like a famous ninja from Japanese mythology, right?
Yeah,
oh, I'm
probably. I think
finding some fucking
all
moves.
of them are. Like all of these characters are based or like.
You think Bakken is actually based off someone? She's not just a
yeah.
hottie someone dreamed up?
No, I mean, you know.
Thought she was just a hottie. Now she's based off some fucking sprite from historic times?
Yeah, probably some, agent of,
She looks like a fox. She looks like she got fox demon energy.
That's probably what it is. The same
Probably
thing
that mythology,
that
right?
Okami dog is based off of is probably what
Nine
they're
tails.
looking, you know? Yeah.
It looks like her pony. She's got 9 ponytails.
Omamatarsu or
Excuse me.
whatever.
Wait, hold on a sec.
Omatiramatsu.
What the fuck?
What the fuck's that dog's name?
Oma. Yeah,
Look,
I cannot
here,
say
dog from. Look, dog.
Hit the
from
Google Translate.
Okami.
Because I don't know how to say it.
And it's look. What kind of name is this?
You gotta hit the Google Translate on it.
It's
so
in
we can-
English though. That's
Yeah,
the
but no,
problem.
I mean like, you know how you make Microsoft talk to you? What's it called? Cortana?
How do I get it?
I forget. You used to know.
Oh, that was here. That was in
Cortana speak.
Yeah.
You might have to cut and copy the name.
Yeah. I have
Ooh,
to, like
hit me hard with that one.
paste and search, and then I gotta like go here. Hold on. Yeah, it's an actual god.
Oh shit.
Can you just like read aloud?
Amaterasu.
Amaterasu.
Article.
Stop.
Talk.
Stop.
From Wiki.
Stop.
Well, how'd you get it to start?
Universe. Amaterasu. That's the name of the dog.
Okay, we're forced into fire mode. Get him with the fucking heavy. Nope. Damn it. All right, Jubei got me. I'm coming back. My paper? No, my paper.
What?
Oh, he chopped my paper up.
Little bitch.
That was my receipt.
How am I gonna validate parking?
I'm never gonna get this pair of jeans returned.
Fuck.
Wait, that was the second loss?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude. Doing worse than I did on last show. We got Discord.
Yes, we do.
We've got the chat, IRL Twitch chat. Let me check it in. What's up, Ranty Rose?
Hey. How y'all doing?
What's up, King Lord Brian and Nightbot? Wait a minute. Vector Spectre, good to see you.
How you doing, Beck?
Earth Crisis Actor, how the hell are ya? It was the wrong. There
Nah.
we go.
Freudian slip.
Why do you fight? Is it for the approval? Oh wait, I'm fighting a different guy now.
Yeah, you gotta start over.
All right. Well, fuck. Knights of the Round here. What is this, fucking Elder Scrolls? All right. You know what, bitch? We're gonna go in heavy. She's like a glass cannon. I feel like I just got to get that heavy in. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Boom.
It looks like she's all about zoning and then closing the gap once you're inside.
Okay, and he fucking palm striked my ass like Boss Rootin'. Number 4, liver strike. El Guapo here giving me the fucking open hand bullshit.
I know, fucking 1,000-hand strike.
She's got the big gourd full of booze too. I think that's why her other hand is not showing.
Oh, I think it's like a ninja thing.
It's a ninja thing. They hide that other hand. Look at her fucking walk, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Hold on. Yas,
at
bitch.
these tits.
Yas. That is insane.
It's mesmerizing.
I just figured out she's got projectiles too. If I jump.
Yeah,
oh, a
she's got
quarter.
projectiles.
I didn't know she was a
She's got
quarter.
a couple cannons on that fucking battleship.
Stop it. I'm talking about her quarter circle.
Oh
turn.
yeah,
Whoa. Fuck ass.
those aren't quarter circle moments.
Dude. Get the block. Oh, you could use the D-pad. See, that's more fucking helpful.
Yeah, that's how I would.
That's
do
my
it. I know
anti-aerial.
you weren't using the.
No, I've been using the analog stick like a plebe. Barely gonna get this
Dude, don't.
fucking
Yeah,
win.
fucking kill this guy.
Kill him!
Conclusion.
I kill him!
I like this game. It's cool.
This game is real cool. I would say that for sure.
I just like.
Am I a demon? Perhaps.
I like the art style of it. I've always thought it was really interesting series too. It's so Japanese, like all the other.
So Japanese,
Like,
right?
like
And what other?
very much.
This one always stood out to me from other fighting games because of the combat with swords being so much more deadly than a punch. It's like you can end a fight in 3 shots.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much more parry and block based, which is funny because I'm terrible at both of them.
Right.
Sean's good. Sean's good at them though.
Bro.
We can take our first Discord call of the night, Brian, if you'd like.
Alright. Let's do it.
Let's see. The sorrow, the despair, the second
Let's
fight. Or is this the third fight that I can never get past?
talk to Chloe for a little bit.
Chloe, all the way from the wasteland itself, calling from Australia. Sorry, I'm doing a little Furiosa, a little George Miller in character.
Right.
I'm not saying that your home is a wasteland, Chloe.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong.
There's a reason it's set there, right? Am I right?
Yep.
Am I right?
There's a reason.
Well, how cheap is the gasoline per dollar per gallon out there? Is it cheaper? We're sitting around $5 again.
Jesus. Almost 6.
It's not.
It's not.
Everything's going up over here. It's fucking stupid.
And they do buy the liter over there.
The liter, it truly is a wasteland.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I am
yeah.
pissed, Kevin. Okay, we got a real bird-beaked ninja on our ass right now. But Chloe, it's good to talk to you. Now, I was speaking in Miller terms, talking about Australia being the wasteland, because I'm hot off of the Furiosa train. I went and saw it on Friday and did a subsequent rewatch of Fury Road as well this weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
Right.
But man, I really like Furiosa. Like, nothing bad to say about it. Like, I feel like if I had to say one critical thing about both movies, they're both a little too long. I feel like they both get a little long at some point, and Furiosa kind of does it too. Are you a fan of those, Chloe?
I've only seen Fury Road. I have not seen Furiosa. I watched Fury Road in probably the worst possible way, which was in the back of someone's airplane seat.
Oh!
Well, sometimes
Hey, man.
that's how you
Like-
watch it.
It's true. I've
So
seen a
this
good.
tiny little box and seeing, something that probably should be seen at a much bigger screen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely have enjoyed movies that I just would never have otherwise watched in a airplane seat.
Absolutely.
But then sometimes I've seen stuff that's like, hey, I watched that, but that was something I got a glimpse of. Now I need to see that at home or
Right.
on a big screen or whatever.
That was me with the John Wick sequel.
But then other stuff. Oh, okay, really? Yeah, that'd be interesting in a plane. Yeah, I don't know. Did you like Fury Road? Were you interested in it, or have you been a V8 motorhead from way back? Are you a fan of the old Mad Max films?
I haven't even seen any of the old Mad Max films. I know it sounds bad to say. I'm
As an
Australian,
Australian,
I
right?
haven't even seen them. I know how awful. But it was interesting watching Fury Road in that you probably wouldn't have even noticed. But when I was watching
You
it,
got it.
there's some
He got it.
actors in there that I'm like, oh, I know you. You're from Australian TV, or they got these random
Oh.
TV actors in there.
George
Like,
Miller used a lot of locals, huh?
Smart.
He used a lot of locals. Like Megan Gale showed up in it. I'm like, she's not even an actor. She's like a model, but she's in it. And
That's
I'm
cool.
like, what the fuck
Oh, is she
Megan
the little
Gale in here?
blonde wife who?
She was.
She's
She
got
was
like
the woman who was like screaming for help me, and then Tom Hardy goes, "That's bait." That was the woman. That was her.
Oh yeah, she's one of the wives. That's so cool. Yeah, so I really liked all of the Mad Max movies. I have a weird memory of getting a VHS copy of the first Mad Max when I was staying over at my grandma's.
Wow.
And it was like, okay, you can pick out a movie, and I was like, I want to pick out this because weirdly enough, I played the Mad Max NES game before I had seen any of the films. I just had that NES cartridge. And I can't remember if someone bought it for me or anything. I think I saved up my allowance and I bought this piece of shit. It's not a good game. Very hard to
I
play.
can't imagine it would be.
And it was that same thing where when you're a kid, right? You don't know how to play games, Brian.
Right.
So I could never get further than I don't know, the first area of this game, which was just a desert map where you're driving the V8 Interceptor around. I think maybe eventually I figured out how to get into a building, and then it became like a top-down GTA clone kind of thing.
Oh, that's kind of, yeah.
But hold on, I'm not giving up on my girl.
That sounds kind of familiar. I never knew this game existed.
Not giving up on my girl. So that was my first exposure, was this NES cartridge to the Mad Max video game. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Full fucking screen,
They
that
could make
thing right
another
there.
Mad Max game.
What's that?
Imagine that would work. They could make another Mad Max game like now. Imagine
Well,
it
they
would work.
did.
They did. It's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks for clicking on that.
Did they?
Brian, it didn't load. There we go. They made one for Fury Road, which I didn't play.
I didn't even know they did that.
Didn't really think it looked that great.
It was fun.
But this game, once I actually was an adult, I figured out a little bit more how to play it. Still a very hard, very fucking clunky game.
Very classic Nintendo game with
Oh,
like an
right.
overworld
Yeah.
combat that's kind of not
You know
that
those-
great.
Oh, it's
I'm
definitely
looking
not
at
that great.
Those roads that you're driving around on, like, they look a lot nicer than the actual back roads that you get in the Australian outback. Like, you got actual lane dividers. Yeah, they wouldn't even fucking bother.
Oh, I bet. But anyway,
George
that
Miller was able to make Mad
that
Max, 'cause it
that
was,
long story short was coming around to getting a copy of the VHS for the first time at my grandparents' house, and that movie opens on a sex scene with two people
Oh, yeah.
fucking out in the bushes, and one of the police officers is watching them through binoculars, right?
Yeah.
I get it home or get it over to my grandparents. Forget where we were going, where I was like, I'm gonna buy a VHS. I want to watch this tape. Finally, it's a movie based on this game I've been playing, and it opens with a sex scene, and they took it away from me, dude.
Pervert.
Yep. Your boy had the VHS confiscated, and then growing up, I remember being a teenager, and it's over at my grandma's house, and her pile of tapes, fucking Mad Max on VHS, which eventually I did snag, so I have it now.
Yeah, of course.
But
They probably forgot they even had that
I
shit.
know. But at that point, it became oh my god, an obsession with me because I got this taken away because there was boobies in it.
Yeah.
I have to see Mad Max. I have to see The Road Warrior, and then I hunted all those movies down and fell in love with the franchise, right?
Yeah.
Especially because
Isn't it
Road Warrior is
interesting
such a cult classic. What were you saying, Chloe?
Isn't it interesting that when you're a kid and you're told, you must never watch this thing,
Yeah.
you cannot watch this, you immediately think, fuck, I need to see this more than anything else in my life.
Yeah.
I had that with me and my brother. I was 7, he was 5, and we were told by my mum, under absolutely no circumstances are you allowed to watch South Park, because we were like, oh, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, absolutely not. You're not watching this. This is banned. And so, of course, me and my brother oh, shit, we got to watch this.
Right.
We have to find a way now.
Yeah, so it was on SBS, which is one of our channels, and we were in the rumpus room, as it was called, and we had the TV, and we had it on the lowest possible volume you could get without it being silent, and we were that close to the TV because my parents were in the other room. And I remember the episode. It was the Paris Hilton episode.
Oh, a good one. So that's pretty
One
deep
of the
in.
Yeah, which is probably one of the worst ones to watch if you're a kid and you're told don't ever watch South Park.
Right.
So we're watching that one, and then Hilton goes on the Lemmywinks journey through Blade's colon, and we're just thinking holy shit, we can never tell anyone that we saw this. This is amazing.
Of all episodes too, it's the Paris Hilton Lemmywinks
Of
episode.
all episodes. It was that one, yeah. Stupid spoil for video playset.
I heard a story from a guy I used to work with. The same thing. It was in the 80s. His, I think, guidance counselor or someone in the high school brought in to talk to a whole classroom full of students. Basically gave them a fucking homework list of bands to go listen to. Because the guy came in, we were talking about the Dead Kennedys. He's like, yeah, you know how I found out about that band? Our guidance counselor had someone come to the school to talk to us about the dangers of, music, and they sat a bunch of high schoolers down. Yeah, they just gave them all a list, okay, the Dead Kennedys, awful band, you shouldn't listen to these guys.
Sounds cool.
This band, this whatever. He's like, I went home and immediately grabbed my piggy bank, went to the record store and bought a Dead Kennedys tape,
Yeah.
and whatever else they said not to, new hip hop that was just kind of coming out and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a literal list. Her walk is just fucking out of hand.
Great.
It's so good.
Actually, I don't know why, I don't understand that if you tell kids or teenagers not to do something, that they're immediately going to want to do it.
Oh yeah.
That was the
Like,
number one thing my mom knew about
don't
kids.
do the obvious.
Don't tell them not to go do this. Don't tell them they can't do this thing or the other, because then they're just gonna want to do it more. And she's right. Like, as much as now as an adult, I'd be like, no, you know what, Mom? I think I would have like heeded your counsel. It's like, no, I remember what it was like when I was a kid, and I fucking did not. I never. It was always like, you don't know what you're talking about, Mom. It's like, no, Brian, you don't know what you're talking about.
Mother knows best.
I did tell my mom years later, I said, oh yeah, me and Sam, like, we snuck an episode of South Park, and she said, like, oh, I did the same shit when I was a kid. Like, I was told I wasn't allowed to watch Number 96, and I watched it.
Of
Number
course.
96 was a show over here that was full of tits. Like, the whole reason the show is known, it goes, oh, you see boobs all the time, and she's like, I want to see that.
Listen, I'm not over here talking about anything outside of, like, it just being part of a piece of media, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a child seeing it with parent supervision.
Well, also in Europe, seeing what? Nudity? Nudity is different than violence. In
Nudity
Europe,
and violence.
there's no problem with nudity on TV. Violence is what fucks kids up, man.
But again, I think
ultra gore and crazy scary shit like that.
Dude, but we grew up on ultra gore.
Nudity never
shit.
fucked a kid up like that bullshit about, oh my God, Justin Timberlake pulled out a nipple on the halftime show and my child is traumatized. Like, bitch, no, he's not.
He's not. And the
He's
nipple
saying
wasn't-
that because you're excited and all jumping around the fucking living room, but he doesn't give a fuck. Now, if someone got beheaded, like they showed a fucking ISIS video on the news, like Mexican fucking local news,
But that's not. Yeah.
that's some other shit that might not be so good. But yeah,
Right.
sex is like
But that's what I mean. Like,
not
find-
that damaging to children.
that's what I'm talking about. There's a difference between something in a movie, whether it's, violence or nudity or whatever the contents of that film is. There's a huge difference between that and showing them footage of, beheadings and like real life, not like real life atrocities, right?
Yeah, speaking of children rearing, the three of us have none. I just want to point that out again,
Yes.
you know.
But I mean, like, at the same time, I also, when I was a teenager, sought out ISIS beheading video. I mean, this is before ISIS, but like, Faces of Death and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that Russian knife video by the fucking...
God, with the knife through the throat
Ah!
and over the rocks, and you just watch it. It still makes me fucking icky.
Stop.
But I'm glad I saw those things because now I don't feel like I would be so fucking shocked if I saw it in person.
Well,
It would still be shocking.
I was shocked this ninja appeared out of nowhere.
But I feel like...
Is this Hattori Hanzo?
Yes.
It is.
His character, I think, is named Hanzo.
It is, yeah.
But I feel like that's...
discovered something.
What's that?
You know how in America throughout the 80s and 90s with the war on drugs that Reagan helped create?
Oh, yeah. We
all
talked about
those
my
ads-
DARE experiences last week, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But all those ads, the ones where it's like, I learned it from watching you and all those... And, like, all those fucking ads that came out, they did a study on it however many years later to see just how effective those ads were. And they found that it actually had the complete opposite effect. They said, oh, yeah, more kids were on drugs.
Oh!
Yeah, because it normalized the behavior of, like,
Yep.
you're essentially showing kids, like, doing meth or doing weed or doing all that shit. And it normalizes it in all these kids' heads of, like, oh, well, everyone's doing it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing kids my age and they're all doing drugs. So in their head, they're seeing like, oh, so it's not as big of a deal.
That's exactly
like, well,
why
look what
we
you've done. You
emulated
fucked
what
up.
we learned about
Now
in that
everyone's on
DARE
drugs.
program. It
Yeah.
was normalized, and then we went, oh, here, it's taught us what the joint looks like, and
Right.
that the dealer sells a bunch of
Yeah,
little
this
pills
is
in a
what a
bag. Well, I
joint
can make
looks
that.
And it's like, oh, if you take ecstasy, you're gonna feel real good. You're gonna have a great night. And it's like, why the fuck not? Like, Jesus.
Wow, that feels great. Well, the Mad Max movies taught me that if you drive a fully loaded, turbocharged V8 down the fucking Fury Road, you're gonna be in for one wild ride.
That's true.
On the fucking edge of your seat with the toe cutter himself, brother. I really did, but just getting back to Furiosa, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, big fan of the entire series. And this Furiosa, I thought, like, if you're a fan of Fury Road, this just took all the little stuff that's around and dressing the scenes and being on the periphery, like all the cool little characters, it took all of them from Fury Road and gave them all more context in this world.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Is
all of
this,
his weird
Is it a
sons,
prequel?
like Rictus, he's in this movie a bunch more. When I was going into it, I was like, I really hope it's like all these weird cast of characters we got a glimpse of in the first movie expanded. Like, I want to see more about the bullet farmer and what goes on at Gastown. And I was like sitting in the theater like, holy shit, this is what I said 5 minutes ago. Yeah. It starts and it's like, hey, we're going over to the bullet farm. Oh, here's Gastown. And also, the big thing that it did for me, it was huge for me. It was like the first movie, it takes place a lot earlier, right? Max is still a cop. I'm talking the like 70s one, right?
Yeah, the original Mad Max.
Yeah. So it's before the wasteland, it's before the thermonuclear war that's like ruined the earth. And it's all about the fucking Knight Riders gang and toe cutters gang, I should say. They're all bikers. The first movie, Fury Road, like of this new franchise, really it had a lot of motorcycles in it, but it didn't have like a biker gang vibe. This movie like opens with that. Dementus, the new kind of villain, that's played by who's that guy that plays Thor? He does a great fucking job.
Chris
in it.
Hemsworth?
Yeah, his whole thing, his whole Wasteland gang is a biker gang. So it's like, oh, Fury Road, the only thing I could say that I had missing from it was the vibe of the first Mad Max, but Furiosa nails that vibe with the whole biker gang kind of aesthetic right out the bat, which I thought was missing a little from Fury Road. So I was really fucking stoked on that. And then just getting an expanded story with all of those characters I really liked, like his sons, I should say Emote and Joe's sons, Rictus and fucking Scrotus.
I was just looking at the cast list to see if there's anyone I know in it. And I'm
Sorry, I
thinking,
can't. Hey, say that again.
Rectus and Scrotus.
Say that again. We didn't catch the beginning.
Oh, sorry. I said I was looking at the cast list, and I'm seeing like there are two characters named Rictus, Erectus, and Scrotus.
Yeah, those are the sons of Emote and Joe. Which there's there's some new characters. There's also like some characters that just aren't there and that were in the first one. But basically, like it's a cool little prequel. If you like that first movie, I thought it was fucking really well done. I want to go see it again. Just because there's like nothing else that great out right now. I've seen just about everything as well. Barely got that fucking victory. But the character list is so good. Like you named off those two, but don't forget about Piss Boy, Smeg, which is I think like the most offensive name. If your nickname is Smeg.
Great name.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Everyone seems to be in love with a new character named the Octoboss, which I was a big fan of. Octoboss reminds me of some Hideo Kojima shit. It really does look like something from like Metal Gear 4. You know that octopus branded military company, Brian, in Metal Gear 4? There's like a character that just seems like he would be one of the Beauty and Beast Corps members in this movie, but he's a dude. There's also yeah, I gotta go see it again. There's so much. There's a very brief Mad Max cameo, which I thought, like, are we gonna get that? Being that it is a prequel, but Tom Hardy's not necessarily like in it.
Yeah.
There was a like fraction of a little thing, and I'm glad that wasn't like saved for end credits too.
Yeah, I'm tired of post-credit shit.
I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, this movie didn't do that well on opening weekend.
Yeah.
For what they projected. Now, they're projecting horseshit.
What the fuck? So what?
Right? So, who cares what they projected?
Hey.
I think it still is a really well-liked movie.
Your mustache is crooked.
Amongst critics. I'm going to get to fucking applause eventually. There we go. But, yeah, apparently it didn't do well in theaters, but nothing's doing well in theaters right now.
Yeah,
I think
it's like a huge...
I've seen that.
I just really hope, though, that it did well enough to grant a third from George Miller, because, God, I would love to keep telling stories in this kind of orange universe that he does now. This new orange and chrome and light blue. Like, everything's color graded in that way in these movies, right?
Yeah.
But I would love a third one.
I just like to. I mean, speaking for me, like I just like that that we're actually getting movies, big Australian movies that are filmed in Australia. That actually, would have Australians working on it. Would have actual Australian actors.
That's the coolest thing. This movie actually opens with a fucking zoom in of the world down to the continent of Australia itself.
Oh.
Like, George Miller is telling every dumb shit in the audience, like, no, motherfuckers, this is Australia. They've all taken place in Australia. The Wasteland and the Fury Road is here. And I think, just real quick, I think that this makes perfect sense in the canon of all of the films, right? This movie, it not only does that zoom down in on the continent of Australia to tell everyone, like, look, this is where it takes place, but it also kind of breaks down, like, the history of warfare on the planets. And they talk about, there's, you got your war, World War, your Civil War, then you got this 7-Day War, 100-Day War, the Desert Strike War, and then it goes the Intercontinental Thermonuclear War, then the Gasoline Wars, then the Water Wars. And it was like, oh, interesting. Like, I've never had a Mad Max movie like actually say like, hey, there was a global thermonuclear war. I think Road Warrior might do that. I can't remember.
Might have alluded to it.
I'm
Maybe.
looking at the whereabouts it was filmed, like, because I know it's Australia, but whereabouts in Australia it was filmed. And I'm looking at, they said they found like these 2 super small towns in New South Wales that have like, one of them has a population of like 50, like fucking barely anyone lives there. And they're like, yeah, let's film our multi-million-dollar budget movie here.
So the cool thing though is like, they go through in Furiosa this whole timeline, right, of the world's wars. And then it kind of made me think like, okay, well, this makes absolute sense. Thermonuclear war is what turned Australia into the wasteland, right? Because no one's pointing ICBMs at the continent of Australia. It's all Eurasia and the Americas. It's all South North America, Canada. Yeah. It's all Africa, Europe, Asia, and no one's pointing a nuke at Russia, at fucking Australia. You guys are just like the cool backyard everyone wants to like go vacation at when the world's ended. So
Australia already looks like a nuclear wasteland anyway.
In their timeline, it made sense to me. Like, okay, if there is a World War III thermonuclear catastrophe, there's fallout and flames on every continent except what's left. The continent of Australia just gets ravaged by the weather conditions that the rest of the world being gone have created. Does that kind of like work in your mind, or is that only me? Because it made total sense to me. It's like, that's why Australia is still there. I mean, it's a nuclear wasteland, but it's not like scratched off the face of the earth.
No,
in the canon of the film, like it just really cemented it. Like, oh, that line where the guy talks about all the wars actually made sense. Like, if war happened, all the continents except for Australia and Antarctica are going to be there, right?
Oh, someone in the comments, SpiceLord42069, said the Australian government funds the movie, so it doesn't need to be a box office success to get a sequel.
Oh,
that
would be
like,
that would be
we
fantastic.
Have, like, the Screen Australia and all that. Like, a lot of our movies here are government funded because we're like, we desperately want the film industry in Australia, especially shit like Mad Max, which is like some of the biggest fucking movies to ever come from here. They're like, no, please film your movies here, make our big stuff here. We want that here.
We're not doing Crocodile Dundee 4, so we gotta fund something. And George Miller, as Kojima says, he is my God, and his story is my Bible. Hey. So, I really, I really want to go see it again. I did enjoy it that much. I'm trying to think of the last movie where I went multiple times to the theater. It really has to be nothing else playing for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because I see everything, but I've seen it all. Oh, what the fuck? This guy's got 5 swords on him? Look how armed this dude is. I blocked all your shit. Doesn't even matter.
Blocked it.
Fuck you. Power up. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. That's it, Brian. That's the first time I've nailed one of my specials.
Have you
Nice.
seen the movie Wolf Creek? Speaking of Australian
Wolf
films,
Creek,
have you seen that
yeah.
movie?
Good Australian horror
Yeah.
movie. Is that the one
So I'm
with
just
the
thinking,
triple
like,
barrel
oh.
shotgun? Famous scene? Am I thinking of that, Brian? Or am I thinking of a different
It's been a long
Australian
time.
horror movie?
A lot of our movies that come over here have been horror movies, and I'm thinking there's probably a reason for that.
So New Zealand's got Peter Jackson, and you guys have got George Miller. There's like interestingly regional directors for these very similar nations.
Yeah, Wolf Creek is the one that is loosely based on a real. There's a serial killer, and he targeted backpackers.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Blocked it all.
Loosely based, and Wolf Creek is a real place. So
It
as long
is.
as you watch that movie before you come over to visit, do my best.
Scary.
All right, that sounds good.
Ooh, fucking hit me with the grab. You can play that.
It's like a city inside a crater.
Wolf Creek is? Damn. Get the kill! Who got it? Oh, I did. Oh, Jesus, that was so close, guys. What the fuck? Fuck, that scared the shit out of me. Well, Chloe, thanks for calling in. I hope we got to everything. If there anything, I know I was just going on and on about Mad Max the whole time.
No, it's good. I'm just happy that I'm representative of my culture. So
Well,
it's great.
I'm happy that it takes place over there. You shall be awaited in Valhalla, Chloe. We
I hope everyone's
sure do
enjoying
love
the
you.
live
We'll see you next
broadcast.
time.
Take care.
Shiny and
Okay,
chrome.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, I didn't get to the point, but hoping it does well enough to get a third movie
Yeah.
in that orange world that George Miller's kind of recreated. Well, it's not a recreate or a reboot because it doesn't really fuck up the story of the first 3 movies.
No, I guess
These are
not.
just tales from the wasteland,
Yeah.
right? But what I think would be cool if they don't want to just keep showing more stories of like Emote and Joe and the Citadel and all the shit that takes place in the wasteland there, like remake The Road Warrior with a younger Mad Max, right? Like they've already recast Furiosa, right, as a younger actress, and they got away with it. Anna Taylor-Joy. I never go like, I'm not looking at Charlize Theron. What's up? You know, it never happens in the movie, right? If the character's got a unique enough look, she's fucking bald with like grease paint on her forehead.
Right.
Doesn't really matter. So, but they could definitely do like, okay, maybe they can't get Tom Hardy again, but they could get a new younger Max or just a different Max, and they do a different little side story in that wasteland, George Miller's new version of the wasteland. But it retells the story of Humongous and the original oil refinery that was, you know, the location and the feral child and all the stuff from the Road Warrior, which I think is like the most favorite of the old movies. I do love the original personally a lot, but Road Warrior is the cult classic, right? And then you got Thunderdome. No one really gives a shit. Tina Turner's there, but
Oh yeah.
so what?
So what?
She's singing, you know, no big deal. No big whoop. All right, this guy's kicking my ass. What's the plan here? My might? I can't block against this shit. Basically, I've got to just come in fast, strike, and get out. Ta-da. Ooh, he saw that coming.
Jeez.
With 3? This dude's name is Earthquake?
Yeah.
Shit! Should have known that. Whoa! Dodged ya. Come here. Come here, you. Give me that fucking door. I love that. Give it to me
Like a
again.
floor panel.
Boom! Yeah. It's like in those Japanese houses with the sliding, like, rice paper doors and flooring. Oofa! Big shot. One more. No! Not the conclusion. That's,
Earthquake.
I didn't use my power up, too. I
Ah.
could have done that.
That's all right.
I think we've gotten further in character
I think so, yeah.
than we have before. I think we were on our 4th. Unguard. Once I figured out how she oh, cheating out the gate? Dude, I was not ready. I was still taking off my... Okay, get in. Tight there. Oh. But I wonder, back to the future of the Mad Max franchise. I wonder if they'll just keep doing original stories, which I'm also all for. But in this world of like every game and every movie is a remake of something that they've basically got a sure thing on, or at least they think, right? I wonder if a remake wouldn't be too bad if it was done in that same style, and also if it was made by George Miller. Now I don't know, did George Miller direct Thunderdome and the Road Warrior himself?
I have no idea. I think he might have done the first one.
I know he did the first one. Yeah.
But that was it. I think that's why
I think
Fury Road was such a big deal.
Yeah, because he's back doing Mad Max.
Yeah, which is like,
ow!
You know, like why? You know, after so long. But yeah, I don't know. He co-directed Thunderdome.
Oh, he co-directed it. Okay. Well, who directed the arguably most popular and most seen of them all? I would say is sorry, can't think. Road Warrior. The Road Warrior.
He directed.
Dude, I am just running into battle like an idiot. He did direct it? He's gonna be in Death Stranding 2, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just go on the Wikipedia for Road Warrior. Is it not? It's so funny Wikipedia like doesn't link the sequels. Like we're on the Mad Max page, but there's no link to the second movie. Directed by...
Oh, so it's just called Mad Max 2.
No, it's not.
Well, then why did it take me to Mad Max 2?
Wikipedia's...
Oh, releases Road Warrior in the U.S. So,
no, it's up there. Oh.
Yeah.
Produced by, starring by, based by, written by George Miller. Directed by George Miller. Oh, okay. So he's been on every fucking one. That's cool.
Yes, that's what confused me. I was looking through the list. And
Earthquake
it's like,
fucking slapped me.
It wasn't there. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's the other Mad Max? But yeah.
He directed Lorenzo's Oil. I've actually seen that movie. 1992. Jeez. Sad movie. Brian, you know what time it is?
He directed Babe. Fucking Babe.
Babe, Pig in the City. Yeah, Babe 2.
He fucking did Babe and Happy Feet.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It is weird.
He's a weird guy. Okay, Brian, I'm going to just grab your mouse right here because it's time.
Oh!
Time to talk about what we got over here at Mega 64. There was a new video, I don't know if you saw, went up. A little amendment to some current unboxing ring content. And just because we love you so much, it's back in our store. That's right, you head on over to shop.mega64.com.
There it is.
You can get new unboxing ring merchandise. Don't miss out. Join the mailing list. And also, keep your eyes peeled, because what else is around the corner? 6-4 day. This Whataburger video caught me off guard, dude. And Brody King?
Yeah, man, from God's Hate.
That's fucking crazy.
AEW fame.
Yeah, that was amazing. We had a barbecue cast.
Ooh, it's a nice looking glizzy.
Back in it. Yeah, look at how he just went hog wild on that. Oh my god. But we had a Memorial Day barbecue blowout this Sunday, this last Sunday.
Yeah.
So you can check that out on our Mega 64 YouTube channel. And this is the big one, baby. We are 1 week away. We're actually less than that now. It's next Tuesday.
Marker placed.
The 4th. Put your calendars in attention.
Marker placed.
I hope everyone's enjoying.
Starting at noon Pacific.
Look at that.
We're coming to you all day, baby.
That looks like the
Yeah.
Looks like the cover of that. Yeah.
It looks like the Metallica Load cover.
Yeah. I was gonna dance around it, but yeah, that shit looked like cum.
Yeah. So splooge.
So it's subliminal.
It's Spazoo.
Come to the show Tuesday, June 4th.
It's a lava lamp, dude.
6-4.
It's a lava lamp. It's not Spazoo.
So what?
We also have.
It's Jizz Ghost.
We don't quite yet have the full schedule up or the merch drop, but it is coming shortly. Oh, a special shouts out to our fallen soldier, Mark Gormley.
Sad.
Sad day, folks. Sad day.
Really
Again, we're all about shop.mega64.com. You can go there right now. That's the unboxing ring hotness. But up at the top, we got the apparel, we got the media section, new apparel in the store, always coming at you. You're gonna find it here, folks. Shop.mega64.com.
So what?
Okay, thank you, folks. Thank you, everyone. Hey now. Brian, I'm going to jump back into the story mode. We've played through, and I've learned some moves with my girl. Can't remember her name. Give me $10 if I get her name right. Nishiki.
Oh, I forgot her name. So.
Fuck, it's not. It's Biken. Damn it. All right. We could play as Warden. This motherfucker looks like Goro. Wan Fu.
Motherfucker look like Goro.
But he's like a mix between Goro and Akuma.
Oh, yeah.
He's like somewhere in the middle. But we ain't gonna play as him because he ain't as fine as some of the characters here. Shouts out. We did Cham Cham. I think that was my favorite last time we played. Wow. I didn't know they had a bunny girl.
Yeah.
Fuck. This guy giving me
Are there more characters if you press like L1 or R1?
Well, yeah, there's 2 pages of them.
Okay.
So we were on the second page, but
I see. I was wondering why it
that
said like
Kabuki
L1
guy.
or R1.
I've played as Jubei before. I liked Jubei.
Looks like Snake.
Shiki's a class favorite.
Yeah,
You
that's
like
my
Shiki,
favorite.
right? You do?
Yeah.
Shiki's your favorite.
Yeah.
I think I know what to make the thumbnail out of this week then, Brian.
Ooh.
She is so dressed up like Psylocke. I wonder if the characters are based off who came first, the Shiki or the Psylocke?
Probably Psylocke.
Probably. 1990s. Who created that character? Is that a X-Man? But it's a late X-Man. It's not an early X-Man, so it probably wasn't Stan Lee. It was probably someone who wrote X-Men in the like late 80s. Created her.
First appearance was 1976.
76, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so off. I was gonna say it's one of those famous artists like Yang was the dude who did. I can't remember. I'm not good with comic book artists.
Damn.
I'm finally learning the names of my manga and anime artists that I've been obsessed with my whole fucking life. But I like her art. Look at that art's really good, right? That key art for her.
Yeah, it's really.
That is good. Who created her? Did it say?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I always get Brian on the page, and then as soon as he clicks off, I ask him a question about it. First appearance, Christopher Claremont.
And Herb Trimp.
Herb. Now, they say Herb over in the UK. Over here, do we just call him Herb? That's the one thing that threw me off because when I was a kid, everyone made fun of me. I loved Resident Evil, but I said herb. Herb. Take the green herb.
Yeah.
Take the red herb and mix it with the blue herb, and you'll get the poison herb. And people were like, bro, it's herb. Like, you know, Snoop Dogg's rapping about weed. He's rapping about that herb. He's not saying herb. I'm like, oh, he's not saying Herbert. Okay. But then I'm watching, like, European, like, English speakers from fucking London, England, or whatever.
Oh my god, I love it.
Oh my god, I love it. And they say herb.
Yeah.
Oh, gonna go down to the apothecary and order a green herb. Gonna mix it with my red herb back after tea time. I is. I does. Wow, she moves very quickly. The other character was slow. She's got that swagger to her walk as well, though. Shasha? She's sending out a fucking animal to do her bidding? It's bullshit. And I'm not into, like, beating up animals, but she's got a bear and a deer back here in the background, and I'm just saying, if I see that fucking oso come 1 inch closer, hee I'm gonna do that shit. Take his ankles out. Achilles tendon that motherfucking bear. Saw what happened to Leonardo DiCaprio. I ain't gonna let that shit be me. Whoa, she warps? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I guess there are two different styles of this character.
Of Kuonan?
Yeah, there's the X-Men character is like a different. It's like a body swap. I don't know. I can't get into this right now.
Or are you doing like different lore of why Psylocke looks the way she does?
Well, yeah, like there's somebody in chat that was like, not sure if he did the modern version. I'm looking at it, and it's like there's two different versions of Psylocke, which is a moniker that was used when they were in the X-Men, but the original Psylocke was not the Psylocke we know.
It's not a girl that has psychic powers. They just use that name again.
Yeah, the person who does is a body swapped person named like Quanon or something like that. It's like, all right, this is now this is getting into the fucking weeds. I don't need to read this right now. Ow.
You okay?
Yeah.
I hate this.
This fucking thing
This desk is falling apart.
stabbed me in my knee. I was gonna play Skyrim until I got stabbed in the knee. I was gonna smoke weed like Afro Man, but then I got high. And then I also took an arrow to the knee. Combining memes, dude.
All right. I won, guys.
I won the jokes.
I did it all. I won it all. Garyu Island.
Took an arrow to the knee because I got high.
I still have never played Skyrim. You know, isn't that wild?
I started that game 7 times and never played.
It's just not. Yeah, not.
No, the problem is
not
I just
for
like
me.
I don't. You can soft lock yourself out of that game because you can kill important characters.
I realized. Oh, really? Dude, I realized I just don't like American RPGs after. I think the first, and I'm talking absolute first, like US RPG I played was Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
Polish.
that's. Yeah, true. But like Western RPG, I'll say.
Yeah, I get.
It's
yeah.
not a JRPG. It's a Western RPG, right? And it's
Right.
like I've never played a Fallout. I've never played. I'm trying to think of what's not a JRPG. All the good RPGs are Japanese. I don't know. That's not true because Fallout 3, New Vegas, like have got a lot of love.
What an interesting character.
I love this back off, like throw your back to the enemy. My other character I was playing with was doing that too.
It's so deceptive to fight against because you don't know where they
Yes. Yes.
are.
And
Mass
they have-
Effect was pretty good actually. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Games
Mass
in
Effect
Cloud.
was one I missed. There's good ones out there, right? Like,
There's plenty.
oh, I mean,
yeah.
Skyrim is like arguably a fucking great video game. Like, it is. I've never played it. It's not for me, but
Yeah, that's all it is.
it's a good game. But man, I just don't like American RPGs, or I should say Western RPGs. Aside from the Polish one that CD Projekt Red put out in Cyberpunk,
yeah.
which is only because the source material is so interesting to me. Heyo, block. Keep it coming. What do you got?
The thing is, I don't think the West really puts out a lot of turn-based.
It's all action. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Turn-based that's a different game.
So like,
And Japanese RPGs aren't even doing that anymore.
yeah,
Really?
well, shit.
It's action.
That used to be the kind of term, right? Like JRPG used to be a
Turn-based RPG, right?
RPG, yeah. Yeah, I guess Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is.
Oh,
definitely,
that's another big one. But again, another the I should say, the Western RPGs seem to all be in a fantasy setting, which is why I don't play them. Another great one out there, which I know was fantastic, and I played a little of, was Fable. Then the Fable 2's
those are good.
fucking great, right? But again, a fantasy setting, not for me. I don't even finish the Zelda games because they're fantasy settings.
And and the last few ones haven't even been Zelda. Haven't been like in fantasy. It's been more like, I don't know, like
The exploration,
mythology and like technology.
the exploration of the last two is definitely what's gotten me. But like, man, I haven't finished them.
But even still, I mean, I was saying this yesterday on Big Dogs, and like as I steep with it after being out.
Do I have a
for year,
projectile I can fucking
No.
throw at this idiot? Hey!
I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be looked at as favorably as people received it when it first came out.
Really?
I don't think they're going to hate it. I just think that people are going to see Breath of the Wild and go, they should have done one or the other. Having Tears of the Kingdom be in the exact same world.
But it's got so many different levels. There's the depths, there's the Sky Islands.
Yeah, the depths are fucking annoying when you're in there. Like, after a while, it's just like, oh, it's dark over here. Gotta get this other light route. Gotta get this other light route. Gotta get this other light route.
Yeah,
and
okay, I see.
Then the heavens, the skies are just kind of like, it's cool you added more, but
You hid some shit, yeah.
I just kind of wish that it wasn't in the same world. Or, if it was, it should have been optioned as DLC. It should have been optioned to people who already have the game, and there should have been some amount of carryover. Nintendo can't use the Zelda ignorance anymore like they did. I mean, even Majora's Mask didn't have it. No, fuck that. Forget what I just said.
They did the same thing with that console.
Like Majora's Mask was a sequel to Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and it references and is like completely based off of that game. If you have not played Breath of the Wild, you do not have anything lost from you on Tears of the Kingdom. And then when you get into the world, you're not collecting new items like you do in other games. You're collecting the same fucking upgrades that you used to have. That you now don't
it's
have.
all over again. It's unlocking the shit you already had.
And I said this a year ago too.
It's a little cold out for the way we're both dressed here, I'm just gonna say.
They take away all your upgrades on your fucking armor, on all your suits, and all of, like, the only thing you carry over is your stupid fucking horse, which is the least usable thing in the fucking game.
It is interesting, like, how much of the game too is like all about like the new building of combining items and equipment and the what is it called? The physics engine of like all these new devices. The Zone I devices I thought was a great thing to add, but yeah, I don't know.
It just became another crafting game. And I'm like, that's cool, but that's not... I mean, there was... in Breath of the Wild, there was a little bit of like, how do you solve this puzzle? How do you get around it? How do you come up with this or that thing? How do you use the physics of the world? This is like, all right,
I just love building ships. Yeah, I like building like mechs and ships, and
that's fun.
Floating somewhere on an airship that I built is like fucking so satisfying.
Right, but are you actually playing the fucking game?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I would argue immediately.
This is a vector discussion, right? If I've ever heard one.
Because
he's on the phone. We should get him on.
We should. But I would argue immediately that yes, you are playing the game. The game is meant to be an open sandbox where you can build whatever you want and do almost whatever you want in it, which is great. But this is what I think Vector does argue in a lot of their videos is like, there's a certain, not that you have to adhere to everything that genres do, but there's a certain flow, and there's a reason why people get franchise fatigue and they get genre fatigue. It's that when you have too much of the same thing, you start to see the sameness. And when you juxtapose Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom, it's not that different of a game, but they're trying to bank on, like, they're trying to bank on you wanting to play through all of the same sorts of things again. That's where I'm like, yeah, but I don't. I gave this game 180 hours. I gave Breath of the Wild 180 hours because it deserved it.
You know, I never beat it.
Yeah. And a lot of people didn't.
I got the new one, and I'm like, I guess I'm never going back to Breath of the Wild.
And so for you, it's actually you're benefiting from it because you didn't go through all of it.
Sure.
So I feel like if you've never played Breath of the Wild, go straight to Tears of the Kingdom. Fuck Breath of the Wild. You don't need to watch. Go through 100%.
that. 100%.
But
Vec,
like,
sorry.
but no,
I'll let you finish your point.
But that's kind of like the main point of like where I feel about games in general. Like a lot of times they deviated from what it is that makes games engaging because they want to bring in new audiences, and sometimes I feel like it pushes your old audience out.
Yeah. Vector, that's a topic of a lot of conversations we've had lately, you know.
Oh,
How the hell are you, by the way?
I was cringing, as the kids say, and smoking that copium, and it sounded like you guys could use a Japanese tour guide.
Oh, we would love to.
Oh, yes.
We're
Come and
us
lend
two
my
gaijin
services.
here. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a week or Tokyo Vice, and me and Artie liked that show. We were talking about it on Twitter a while back, but I will be honest, it is not a good show, and I watch it as a guilty pleasure.
I just said it was
So-
too slow to grab my interests, and that did
I think it's
cause me to
genuinely
fall
not
off.
good.
What's that?
I personally think it's not a good show, but I like it. It's got Ken Watanabe. I'll watch
Yes.
anything he's in. I even watched that shitty sci-fi movie that he was in with John David Washington. What was that? The Creator.
Oh, I like The Creator. The Creator had some cool like
Bullshit.
concepts in it.
Right? Yeah, sure. You know, if you just like that, it's great. But as
Yeah,
a movie,
story-wise,
it's
made no sense. Yeah.
bad. It eats that dog on the right side of the screen. It eats that dog's asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck that
Ooh.
movie.
Dude, how do I get
What's up with the Sam show? Always having people let animals do the fighting for him, which is kind of fucked up.
They got
Well, it's like
little-
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Whoa, they both come from Japan.
They do.
It's
Now-
a conspiracy. Where's the X-Files thing?
I have that somewhere. It's not queued up though. And I'm playing a fighting game at the same time.
Yeah.
But I do have that. God
And
damn
now
it.
you died.
It's because I went to look for it.
But Vector, as always, it is good to hear from you. And I did want to also shout out official Sega is in the chat. They're saying that Game of the Year this year is going to be Infinite Wealth.
Oh, of course.
I
Well,
gotta-
see, that's a Japanese RPG that I really enjoy playing.
And that's where I agree.
Return to turn-based.
One of the things, and I was actually going to bring this up, and that's why I'm
Got
taking
ya.
it back a little bit. I was going to bring up the Yakuza series for doing what Zelda didn't do, which is
Why am I?
when you do something in Yakuza, even if you didn't do it, there's a reference to it in Yakuza 3. There's a reference to it in Yakuza 4. Literally,
Yeah.
Yakuza 3 to 4, there's like a carryover character that you meet in the second act of Yakuza 4 that was only in the end of Yakuza 3. And so that's cool. Like, they build this world, they give it texture.
Ooh.
That's the story.
Get 'em.
The gameplay, they change up the world so that it's not the same shops you're going into. It's not the same eateries you're going to.
Sure, yeah.
They take you to a fucking different city. They
Switch
take you to
Camarocho
Okinawa.
around,
They
yeah.
take you to fucking Hawaii in the new
Well,
game.
that's what's so cool about Infinite Wealth, yeah.
Right? And so...
I'm not playing the middle one, the man who erased his
Yeah.
name or any of that.
Well, I
but-
hear that's fun too, and it's actually a great length because it's less time than a normal Yakuza game. It's like a 20-hour
Sure, but I, again, haven't beat Like a Dragon 7, and now I'm going to start playing 8, you know. It's like...
But-
I gotta leave some of it out. And I've heard that the man who erased his name isn't, like, necessary. It's just like a little bridge.
It's a nice little bridge.
A bridge
And-
of storylines, Kiryu and Ichiban's,
Yeah,
which is
and-
cool.
And I like that. And I like that they're past the torch while keeping Kiryu, but not making him be the crutch of the new stories. And that's kind of what I'm saying, is like, there's a way to continue with the world that you're in and still make it fun and refreshing. And still give you a different,
Sure,
like,
yeah,
even
yeah.
in Yakuza 4, at that point, you don't even play as Kiryu until, like, the last part of the game. You know, it's one of the final things you do is play as Kiryu.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
why I didn't finish it.
And so,
I did fall in love with the new characters, though. That ex-cop or whatever he was, the detective guy.
Yeah, and again, like that's why I feel like when it comes to Nintendo, I felt like they rested on their laurels with Tears of the Kingdom. And Vector, I feel like that's why you would also agree with us, and I think that's why Garrett pulled you in.
Well, I pulled Vector in because, like, the genre and labeling a game into a specific genre seems to be a very, very common theme of Vector's videos and work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my life's work.
Yeah, you're
Absolutely. My
reclassifying
afterlife work.
things to fit.
Afterlife work. I like it.
Yeah.
I just got smacked up twice by Galford here. Last time.
Real quick before jumping into that topic. 'cause
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like that's going to turn into multiple tangents. I just wanted to point out that that Viking, the character you love so much, she comes from Guilty Gear. So she's
That's
a
a
guest
Guilty-
character.
Oh, okay. So that was a DLC. They put some Guilty Gear characters in here. Hell yeah. Guilty Gear is a franchise I've always wanted to start playing, but I know I'm so bad at fighting games. I'm not terrible at this one. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom I was probably the best at, because it was so simplified on the Wii. Go figure.
If it ain't Baroque.
Yeah, for right. If it
Joke
ain't
from the
Baroque,
game.
join the Bauhaus.
Yeah, as for genres, I mean, I realized recently one of the most recent videos I did, I realized that first off, like, fighting games don't exist because any game can be looked at as a fighting game if you're brave enough.
Okay.
And
Okay, lead us.
We don't have.
Lead us
Yeah,
down
we just
this
don't
path.
have the information. We don't have enough information to define like traditional fighting games like this. That's why like this type of game, like Sam Show, King of Fighters, Virtua Fighter, Tekken.
Yeah.
Like games that are obviously fighting games. I have started a movement to call those versus games because they're very clearly fighting games. Like it's undeniable. But there's also like unorthodox fighting games that you can't really tell, but they're played competitively like fighting games, like the Gundam Versus series, and then you got Smash Brothers has been debated since it came out.
That's
whether
true.
A fighting game.
That's a big one,
Yeah.
man. Smash Brothers, like, is that a fighting game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
How could
But
it
people
not?
argue
Exactly.
that it isn't.
They do.
And I don't know. It's like they're just trying to be.
Why-
They're trying to pull a me. They're doing a bad impression of me, unlike you guys.
Yeah, we do good
Trying to,
impressions of you, but they're doing a bad impression.
Yeah.
Well, because
Right, just trying to argue with people for no reason.
I feel like people who argue things like that are 100% arguing emotionally and not like factually. Like what is
Right.
the game? And that's why I think you calling them versus games as a title.
I love that reclassifying it, though,
Yeah.
in our ever-changing English language. It's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And changing the
Right.
name of a fighting game to a versus game, it really does fit, because as we've talked about at length, ad nauseum, survival horror is so different
yeah.
from what it meant in 1998
Yeah.
that we don't classify games really with that like we used to, or we classify much broader games like that. And yeah, this is an
Actually,
interesting
hold
one.
Hold on one second. Since we're talking about Nintendo and survival horror,
Yeah?
how come no one on the planet considers Luigi's Mansion to
Oh!
be a survival horror game?
Oh!
I agree with you. And when you started saying that, I'm like, he's gonna say Luigi's Mansion.
You're absolutely
Yep.
correct.
It is survival
Yep.
horror.
Or is your Ghost Sucker
If it
limited?
isn't, then why? Tell me why it isn't if it isn't.
The only way that it wouldn't be.
Is the Ghost Vacuum limited, or is it timered, or does it get full so you're experiencing that, oh my god, I'm gonna run out feeling?
Yes and no. Like you have certain abilities, like in Alan Wake, right? Like you have a flashlight ability where you have to like activate the ability to attack the ghost, and then you can suck it in. But like the only way that I would say it isn't a survival horror game is in, and I can't remember if there is or not, resource management. If there, I don't think aside from your health,
Right.
which I don't know if you regenerate. You find items throughout the world to help you heal, so I could say that it's definitely more like what people would consider a traditional survival horror game to be than people care to admit.
Yeah. I would get you there, man. That's Nintendo's one survival horror. Well, actually, Resident Evil was on Nintendo forever.
Yeah.
Forget about all the remakes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm still, collecting data, but I haven't heard a good argument for why it shouldn't be. But no one's ever described that game. Even Nintendo on their website, they don't call the game survival horror. But it seems like the only requirement to be called a survival horror game is to try and be scary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where again that name
Horror.
Yeah.
That's the only word that comes is horror in the title from that, but otherwise it's not that much of a survival horror game.
And that I think was one of the first things we ever discussed with Beck on our show, which is like, yeah, it's not an accurate definition.
I cannot
anymore,
block these.
And like even thinking back to the phrase fighting game, I think that came from how all games were originally. And I'm sure you covered this in your video, Beck. But like Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Art of Fighting.
Yeah.
Like the initial ones all had fighting because they needed to signal to person at the arcade, what the game was going to be. And back then,
Right.
it was also much more basic gameplay because it was all coin stealing machines. You know, like I went back and played the fucking Simpsons game at Pinballs in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah.
And
Hell
like,
yeah.
dude, it's like Jared and I were talking about it while we were playing. I'm like, I only ever beat this on 360 with infinite
Oh yeah.
continues. You know,
Any
like,
arcade game, I unless it was at a nickel arcade, I had never been able to beat like a Time Crisis or anything until it was on
Yeah.
free play.
or had it on Dreamcast.
Yeah. Got the home version.
And so yeah, I feel like
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like when you play that kind of
got you,
game, I mean,
motherfucker.
that game is all about just kind of trying to survive as long as you can, right? So is that a survival?
yeah.
I mean, every game's a survival game if you think about
You're
it.
trying to survive, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm actually getting ready to record the next video about survival horror soon. So look forward to that.
Is
yeah.
there
But,
looking forward to things has got me thinking like, you know, I talked about at the top of the show, like there's nothing I'm really looking forward to. That's why
Yeah.
I'm just sinking my teeth into the games that I've been, you know, sitting on. Like I'm going
So-
all the way through Final Fantasy VII now. But are you
I
looking forward to
wasn't
anything?
sure- I wasn't sure if I was gonna bring this topic up, but there's something that's been on my mind recently, and I don't know how you guys feel about it. But it's like we're in the middle of the second major video game crash.
Yes.
But it's like a Cold War kind of crash. It's not like people are going out of business like Atari did because they fucked up and spent too much money on ET.
Yeah.
But like we're seeing the mass layoffs and people are trying
Yeah.
to, like companies are trying to stay afloat because the AAA model is failing mightily. And
100%.
yeah, and it was like, and you know, Hellblade 2 just came out, and people are shitting on that game because it's like a walking sim, and you know, like
I'm like, did they play the first one?
right.
I'm watching
You know,
Trish
and
play
it's
it.
like, what were you?
Yeah, it's a scary ghost story.
Yeah.
You play with headphones on.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
That's why it was great. It was like, this is a fun. It's like just enough combat to keep me engaged, but otherwise, I'm like, this is a really fun virtual experience.
But you were saying?
And for old people like us, right? Like we can appreciate games like that, but like so many of these big publishers, they're moving towards live service games because Fortnite has stolen everybody's time, and that's where all of the money is in the industry.
That's the business model that makes the developers rich, is the Fortnite, loot crate, skin gambling bullshit we're in right now.
Ooh, meow.
100%.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to fucking play that way, you're not going to make money, and your studio's going to close.
Well,
Right.
Which is just a fucked thing that drives business towards these games I don't want to play. But then again,
But I don't blame the company. I
They're
don't
not
blame
made
the
for
company
me.
that. I blame the stupid kids
Yeah.
that are playing these games
These
'cause they
fucking
don't know
kids.
any better.
right. I always blame the parents.
I blame everything on the younger generation because, you know,
Skibbity
that's
Riz.
just the way I roll. Dude, your Riz is skibbity? Oh,
Hell
bummer,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
So it's a bummer.
Shouts out to Anime Serbia.
Oh, Serb's in the chat? What's up,
No,
Serb?
no, he was one of the reasons that Toilet got.
Oh, that got
popular
popular. Yeah, for
he's
sure.
a friend. He's a friend of mine.
We know
he's
Serb.
Mono friend. Yeah, you know Mono Friendzo. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Friend of the show.
I forget that they come here too. But yeah, no, I mean, again, like kids don't know what's good or what's bad. When you're younger, you take anything because it's candy and it makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
But as you get older, first of all, the people who don't care are gonna slow off like dead skin. You know, like they'll just
Right.
fall fucking off and good. Go away. Nobody wants you in a community where you're just not happy with it. Like, it's something I have to ask myself too. Like, sometimes I'll sit there and I'm like, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, I felt like, and I've said it a few times on the show, fucking video games, I love them, but sometimes, like right now, they're a fucking waste of my time, man. Like, this is supposed to be
There's
a
more you
fun-
could get done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a fun genre that I get to enjoy. Like, I think about when I was a kid. When I wanted to play video games all the time. Why? What was the motivation? Because I was
Right.
all week I was at school and I didn't have time to sit down and actually just play my favorite games or learn about new games. There's also so many new things to discover, so many different genres.
Fucking getting monster hunted here.
You know, like that I'd never had a chance to touch. Nowadays, and this is kind of what, you know, I feel like happens with anything, you realize the structure of most things.
Got me with the switch axe.
And like,
Right,
dude,
yeah.
every game, it's sort of again, Vector has said this a million times. That's why I kind of like the discussion, because what I want is people to listen to it and develop games that are better than the games that are out now. That focus on what makes the experience of the game fun, and that's always to me going to be more important than genre classification.
And I think there'll be outliers, Brian, that they will make games for people that want that, like us right now.
Yes.
But the majority of the industry spending money on software is far younger than us.
Yeah.
They don't have the nostalgia for shit that we're nostalgic for.
Yeah.
And that industry is just going to keep making stuff because they're the ones opening their credit card to buy. And unfortunately, like, eventually stuff will come along for us, but I was thinking about, like, what are the, like, top games I've played, like, in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
Remakes of my favorite games. It's Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. It's I'm trying to think. What was Final Fantasy? It's a remake of something I'm extremely nostalgic for. And I'm finding, like you're finding, like, hey, I'm not going to play these games because they're a waste of my time. I'm just finding that, like, I'm not going to buy any new games because they're not making anything new that I'm interested in. They're remaking some stuff that I'm interested in, but they're not making, like, new IPs that I'm interested in, really.
Yeah.
I hope that changes. And I'm waiting for another outlier, but right now it's like, we'll see what Metal Gear Delta is. We'll see what Resident Evil rumored remake or 9 is.
Right.
They say it could be Code Veronica. Did you hear about that?
I'm hearing a lot about that, and as you can see, my silent protest has been paying off here.
There you go.
But I have heard rumors of Code Veronica and Resident Evil 5 remake, which...
Someone said Resident Evil 0, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
Well, also I've heard Resident Evil, the original GameCube remake, is going to be remade a second time. So right now the rumors are literally just every Resident Evil game is going to come out again.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Which is also like, okay, and 9. Like whatever 9 is.
Well, they're definitely going to keep making new
Of
Resident
course!
Evil games. So,
and they're definitely going to keep remaking them.
Yeah, because there's so many that they can choose from, and now they've also got this ability to... Capcom did it right. I think Capcom's remake games, regardless of if you like them, they clearly are telling you these are not the old games. We are not... The only thing we bring back is subtle nostalgia with the soundscapes and costumes. They're their own games. They are based off the original games, but we are re-establishing where the game is now. And that's, again, we're in this place in video games that people who haven't looked historically at other genres and I'm sorry, not other genres, but other medias. So film, television, newspapers, radio serials. This isn't new. What video games is going through is what film and television went through in the 80s. You have all these big studios. They buy up all the little studios. They're thinking, we can produce this, we can produce this, we can produce this, and they're throwing all this money at it.
All that money they spent.
But the easiest way to show no loss at the end of a quarter is shut down the studio. Because now you're freeing
it's a write-off.
Yeah, well, you're freeing up the money that would have gone there, so you gained that money. That's considered not a loss. Because now you're not losing it anymore.
That's why they shelved that Acme Roadrunner movie.
Exactly.
Even though it was a good movie and everyone who worked on it was like, I really liked this.
And that Batgirl
show. It would have made money. That's true. That's ready to come out.
Like, shows that were done.
I hope that fucking... I just wish a PA would leak shit like that online. Be like, fuck, I'm putting it on.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be like fucking, DEFCON, level 4 with your security,
discretion,
so that people don't find you.
Go to jail for the rest of your life. Fucking Hollywood's gonna put you in a cage for the next 60 years of your life because you put out the fucking Roadrunner movie.
And they would to screw you
Oh
over.
my God, they would.
But so that's kind of the thing. Video games were actually in a really interesting place in gaming because we're now at this place where kind of 360 PS3 was at, where there's actually a lot of people who are willing to put money behind a game. But now it's no longer just shackled to
AAA.
Capcom. Yeah, or like GTA. Now you're still gonna get these stellar, mega, huge like experiences, just like there's stellar, mega, huge blockbuster movie experiences.
But they're wasting money on them.
But a lot of times, what you're gonna have to do, just like how games started in the 80s and 90s, and I said this last week about Sony compared to Xbox, you have to start new favorites, and by doing that, that means new, smaller companies are gonna get opportunities because we're not getting those, those AAA titles that we were gonna get because a lot of those studios shut down.
Yeah.
But now you have all of these. Like massively talented people working on who could start their own company and make a great game. Now I know that's harder, but like I encourage those people to do that instead of sitting there and trying to find another Infinity Ward to fire them in 5 years.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. Either you build it. Look at Mega 64. Look at Rooster Teeth. You know, as like I'm not inside on Rooster Teeth, but what I can tell you...
You wouldn't have a job if you were.
Well, yeah, but what I can tell you on the outside is externally, Mega 64 has maintained ownership of everything. Rooster Teeth did not maintain ownership of itself, and so therefore they effectively were able to, like, you know, go check out 100% E, go check out Regulation Podcast, go check out, you know, the Phoenix rising from the ashes of Rooster Teeth. They're all independent.
That's the best thing that I hope comes out of a situation like this in the gaming industry is what happened with a select few of our friends over at Rooster Teeth who now have gone into business for themselves.
Yeah.
I think the best thing for Warner that came out of the Warner Brothers dumping was for them all to become their own gods. You know what I mean? Like, and if that can happen for all of my friends who got laid off when the video game industry just fucking crashed last month, like that would be the best, most wonderful dream for them. Is like, God, be able to work for yourselves, go into together on your own studio,
right? And look at.
It's not easy, guys. It's fucking hard.
It's never easy. But if that is what you want to do, and that is what you're passionate about,
there's nothing better than doing it for yourself instead of someone else.
Think about how those companies started. Think about Konami
Twist.
and Nintendo and Sony. They all had nothing, even though they might have had money to start. Nintendo made its millions, its billions. It's built its backbone on games. And it's been around for over 100 years. It didn't make video games for 100 years.
Oh, no. Every developer, started out in the dad's basement or the garage. Like, look at the id Software guys making Doom.
Right. Look at, and then again, looking back at
John
Rooster
Romero, John Carmack. Sitting in a garage.
But Nintendo literally started out making playing cards, is what Brian is talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like,
back in the 1800s.
It's a company that's based around making games, and like the only reason a lot of these companies or games didn't come out is because they wanted to make the game. What's the old adage? You need to make them. You can make something fast. You make something cheap. Or you can make something good. You can only do 2 of the 3.
Yes.
Right.
If you try to do all 3, you're heavy. You're in the red because you're spending too much money to make something happen fast. For something good to be done, it needs thought, and people just want money, gain, growth, up. The graph needs to be going to the right and up.
Well, that's the goddamn worst part of the corporate overhead is that they are beholden as shareholder or to the shareholders to make a profit that's more than the profit they made last year.
Right.
Even if they didn't put out any better product or do anything, they have to make more than the last year. Always more.
Get it. That's why I love calling in. But there's other people in the waiting room. I want to give those guys a chance.
For
2
sure.
things.
Okay.
So I can get out of your hair. I wanted to give a quick shout out to. It looks like you guys got a new viewer. Ramajama in chat.
What's up, Ramajama?
Based on the way they type, they clearly have never heard of me, and they don't know about my infamous history with the Metal Gear series. But stick around, Ramajama. You will see me and hear me again during Metal Gear Summer. And you're in for a time.
It's coming up because we're playing Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and I'm very curious.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yes. So lastly, I would like to invoke
Yes.
the anti-wheel spin.
Anti-wheel spin.
Anti-wheel spin. Now this is brand new. I've never heard of any such a request, and I am obliged here. But let me know what is the
what are the
anti-wheel spin
stipulations?
stipulation? Right.
These are my terms.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second, hun.
If you choose, and you could obviously just tell me to. Go
Of
fuck
course,
myself.
of
But
course.
If you accept the terms, then it would require 2 wheel spin requests
To
to
enact.
generate 1 wheel spin request.
Okay.
Ooh.
So it's a 2-for-1 deal. And how long does this last, Vec? Are we talking
Just for the stream.
just
the
for today's
so-
stream? Okay.
That makes
So there's 2 people in the waiting room. You'd need both of them to
To
request
enact.
a wheel spin.
Okay, I like this. And let's say next week you call in, you also want the anti-wheel spin rule. We'll give you another 2 falls out of 3. Each week, we just have to, as long as you get in first, you can enact the 2 instead of 1 rule.
No, I think you should poll chat. I mean, if
Okay,
they
all
abide
right.
by that, I think it could be fun. If not, if they want to see feet, whatever.
Well, they got it last week, the fucking perverts.
Yeah, they want it every single week. That's the only reason why they want the wheel spin. They want the same thing over and over.
Brian, she's naked. Brian,
Feet.
I turned Master Hand into like a sexy ghost girl. I've never done that before.
Dude. I have some
I'm
ectoplasm.
gonna leave you to your ghost girl devices.
Thank you,
and I will
Vector.
see you guys next time.
Thank you so much, Beck. We love talking to you, and I think we are enacting the rule today. So we'll take some more calls, and if we get 2 wheel spins, we'll do a wheel spin. But until then, you're not seeing any feet today. Well, aside from the naked Master Hand's
You
little
might get a little heel.
female form here.
Little heel right
A
here
little
for you.
toe, huh?
You want to suck on this heel?
Good luck.
He was still on the phone. That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Wait, did I lose?
Yeah. You got close, though.
I did. I was laughing too hard.
Hey guys,
This is George.
I'm showing you my feet. Look at, she's showing feet right out the gate. They're hovering, they're levitating. The internet has completely fucked my mind because now, like, whenever I'm watching a show
Yeah.
and a character is like wearing open-toed shoes, I will say out loud in my own living room, for free?
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't know, but it's not proper. It's not a way to go through life, Brian. Constantly memeing.
I don't know.
Get her.
It's kind of been our MO for the last 21 years of Mega 64.
Do a special. Yeah, twist your neck off. Sukya?
Sukya?
Sukya? Sukya? I think that's what they're saying, Brian.
Whoa, that's a lot of health.
Did she take me down to that with 1 hit?
Jesus.
One
Well,
fan blade hit did that.
SNK boss syndrome, man.
Fuck me. All right.
And that was a very good call. Both of them.
As always,
Chloe
Spectre
and Vector.
and Chloe, great callers. Okay, get it.
I like
Get
I like
it.
video games so fucking much. That's the thing. And
I do too, but I always think of my video games as a toy. It's a toy to be played with as no different than a fucking G.I. Joe, right?
yeah. Fully.
That's why I don't get online and fucking cry and complain and spend half hour of my fucking day composing a perfect tweet.
Right.
Only to check in constantly throughout the rest of that day and make sure that no one is disagreeing with my comment,
Or
you know,
flaming me
or
for my
flaming
opinion.
me for my Twitter opinion that gets me like this,
What? Yeah.
or whatever fucking meme image. they're gonna
Whatever
show.
my fucking.
I that's where I just constantly will think like, okay, I love my toys, but I'm never gonna waste enough real world energy on a plaything, right?
Right.
That doesn't deserve that amount of energy.
Right.
That's why it's so funny to see people posting fucking videos of themselves in their little hovels crying about the Stellar Blade costume.
Yeah, and that's why that felt to me like it couldn't have been legitimate. Because
Well, everyone was so... They would have to be such good actors. I mean, the amount of filth in some of those goon caves and the amount of...
Yeah.
Empty fucking Red Bull cans and piles on the floor next to their fucking beds.
All you need is like 5 or 10
Got her.
people to make it look like it's real, and then from there,
True. That's true. I only saw 3 videos, and I thought, ace in the hole. This video's perfect. But it's like, yeah, the 3 loudest minority.
Right, and that's always what people are gonna look at, and they're gonna focus on
Ow.
the outrage.
Brian, I had her.
Block when she does that.
How? I'm doing back.
Overhead block.
Oh, I'm doing it. I'm holding back.
Well, you'll get her in the next round. She doesn't get full health back, does she?
I think that was the 2. I think I lost 2 to her.
No, that was just 1.
Oh, you're right.
Fuck.
Damn, full health. All right.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing about it. Is like, ultimately, I'm playing games because I want to have fun, and like, yeah, I'll be playing something. And even for instance, you asked me earlier, what have I been playing? Aside from just popping into Rebirth when I can, first of all, I like that I can play Final Fantasy Rebirth for 15 minutes or for 2 hours. But I'm not locked into one or the other. I get instant gratification by doing mini missions, doing combat simulator stuff, playing Fort Condor, whatever. There's a bunch of
grinding. Well, yeah, that you can really pick that game up. I can pick that game up for 10 minutes, just rearrange my materia, and then go, ooh, this will be fun next time I can sit down and play.
Exactly. Like there's things in the game that allow you to either like embed yourself in the game, or
I'm gonna cheese her in the corner.
Just kind of do what you can. And I'm always fine with the do what you can method of gaming, because that's one of my favorite things. Like, I think mobile games and
that was that full fucking health hit.
Yeah, there you go.
Give him to me.
Yeah, wait for her to. Keep going.
Oofa, fangul. Hey, Mambo Italiano, hey Mambo.
That's it.
Hey, paisans, we did it.
Hey, I hope there's an round 3.
I'm getting horny now just thinking about it.
I don't know why I turned Italian for the end of that.
I don't know either.
Singing Michael Bublé in here. Hey.
Oh, okay, good. Only one steak.
Cover yourself, madam.
I really feel like what we're gonna get in the next few years is a lot of games and a lot of companies like Supergiant, and we're not gonna see like, a new.
Whoa.
We'll see like new Call of Duties every year, right?
That was fucking cool.
Just like we see new Fast and Furious, we'll see all that.
Yeah, you're still gonna get those.
But now I think we're gonna see a lot more
pissed off,
genre-specific, new titles, new IPs that like. Give you
that's
more.
Sick. The Tory drum turns her face into a fucking skull.
Yeah. Whoa.
Look at how Kabuki Theater, even the setting and everything is. This is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think we'll still get that stuff. Yeah. Surefire. Because those gaming companies have turned them into services. It's not a $60. It's not a $70 game. Holy fuck, bro! It's not a. Damn. It's not a $70 game you buy anymore. It's a service that you're going to be paying $20 a month to play Call of Duty. Essentially, because you want the new maps and the new content, and I want the Cheech and Chong skin and all that shit.
I would much rather have that for those types of games.
Because I don't play them. That's fine.
Yeah, to buy what you want to play as, but I want companies like the Behemoth or Supergiant or Ninja Theory to keep making short fucking games with a story.
We got the Crow Country, or we got Animal.
Crow Country, yeah. Or the people
Animal Well, and yeah, there are the outliers, which is great.
Cult of the Lamb. There are a bunch of other games that, again, they're.
And that's Devolver. That's a big developer. Too.
Yeah, and that's just a publisher, right? Because a smaller team probably made the fucking game.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like it's one of those things where I'm so excited that digital games are a thing that you can do, so you don't have to worry about distribution platforms. You don't have to worry about physical. I know it's still cool to have physical for some people, and limited run.
It'll be there for that.
Absolutely does that for it, and I'm sure other companies will come through. But the largely corporate-controlled video game companies, those are gone. Unless they built themselves to a position like Rockstar has, those are gone the way that they used to be.
Well, they're all owned by Microsoft, and then they're gonna all be folded.
That's what I mean. Like,
and it'll all be distributed by Activision.
a lot of these companies are you know, either going to fold or they're going to lose personnel, and at that point, it don't matter. But what I do like about live service is let me do that. Let me have a live service game. I'll pay $70. I'll pay $70 or a monthly fee to play a game that's a live service online. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the new. I mean, that's what Fortnite is, right?
Well, Fortnite is free to play, but if you want to buy skins, then you pay this, that, or the other. And that's
if you want access to, yeah.
I think that's fine. I think that's how games can be. I think that it's a great way to have these larger games be more sustainable. But don't make that into every fucking game just because you need to make money. And also, not every game is a $70 game. Some games are a $30 game.
Yeah, I love when a little budget title comes out and I can just like replay the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I will say, like, you know, the length of games too is not something that needs to be over 10 hours anymore, like it did when I had all that time. But hey, for games that have no ending, like your Fortnite and like your Call of Duty, like that's not why. That's why I don't play those games. Those games just matchmaking forever until the next one comes out. Like I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
That area of my life that was the Halo 2 days. You know, that's over.
Well, that's what's nice about those games. You don't matchmake forever because everybody's playing them.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's no ending to Call of Duty. If I buy Call of Duty, I'm not beating that game.
Right.
It's just, well, I'm playing this until Call of Duty 8 comes out or whatever the next one is, because I'm just going to be matchmaking. Like, there was an era where I played the new shooter, and I think Black Ops 2 was probably the last one of those I played.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. I feel like, you know, again, this is why Vex very good at calling it a versus game. Because that's a versus game. And I'd much rather, you know, have it be a versus shooting game that you're into and pay for that if that's what you want.
I cannot beat Shuza. Is this the last boss?
I think so.
It got 2 transformations, right? So, like, I've never seen a character do that yet. You know, we constantly get thrown back into her first form, but I did beat her first form once.
Yeah.
But I think this might be like the actual last.
Yeah, this is the
last boss of the game. That's cool. I didn't know I would get that far. We played like a month ago, and I pretty like stuck at the 3rd enemy in. But this time we're doing a lot better.
I thought you made it to this boss. I remember seeing her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I never saw her turn into like Master Hand version.
Yeah. Well, I felt like we were talking about that before. I don't know. Anyways, but I'm very happy.
Or you're hopeful for the future of gaming.
I mean, yeah, because again, like I played a lot of great games in the last few years, and I think like games like Capcom, developers like Capcom have games that I spend hours replaying, and so it's like I get my money's worth if the game is worth playing. I said this to you last week about like my mentality about streaming, and it's also my mentality about gaming. It's like it's value over volume. I don't want to play every game that comes out anymore because most games are not worth my time.
Well, that's why it's like we played Stellar Blade on the show.
Yeah.
Having the PPS is a great excuse to play stuff I normally wouldn't play because, like, my friend hooked me up with a code, you know, we played Stellar Blade.
Shouts out, Matt.
And, no.
Oh.
Max hooked us up here, but regardless, what was I saying?
Playing a variety of games on PPS.
Oh, yeah. Like, there is so much shit out that is not for me, you know, like, but I get an excuse to play it on the PPS and kind of showcase it, which is fun because otherwise, like, I wouldn't have played Stellar Blade. But I knew after playing for 10 minutes, it was like, oh, I would just rather go back and finish Elden Ring.
Right.
Like, I don't want to fucking play. I don't want to play this. Fucking, you know.
And that's why I think a lot of developers have gotten really smart too by allowing you to have a demo which carries progress. Because having a demo like it was back in the day, getting a PS1 demo disc.
Oh, and then you're just doing a part of the game over as soon as you buy it?
Dude, I mean, I don't know how many times I've done the Marseille level on Tony Hawk 2 because it was in a demo that I got for a PC
really?
Games. You know, it was like Tony Hawk 2 demo, and I played that one level 1,000 times over and over until I convinced my mom to buy it for us on Dreamcast. You know, like
yeah, demo discs were another breed, man. That was a different fucking thing.
And we don't have to deal with that anymore. We can just download the game and
True.
the demo to the game. That's how I bought a bunch of games.
I loved that the demos, like for Dragon Quest, were actually, like you said, hey, you get to play like the first like 10 hours of the game.
Yeah.
And then you buy the game and you'll carry over that 10 hours. Like you'll save all that progress. I thought that was really fucking cool.
I thought that was so cool. I thought that made me end up buying more games than it made me not buy games. Like Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins would have never, ever, or until it came out on Game Pass, but even still, I probably wouldn't have started if they didn't release a demo and I played the demo and I'm like, actually, this is a fun game.
Yeah.
Then I kept grinding the demo because they're like, hey, well, this will carry over to the main game when it comes out.
Strangers of
They
Paradise?
updated it. Yeah, then
That's
they updated
cool.
the demo, which I've never seen. And when the game came out, I was already level 25.
Oh, that's fucking nice.
And it was like, and I had done a certain number of things, so the game I was already in it. Like, I'd already put 20 hours into the demo, and it carried over. And that's what I mean, like, just make good fucking games. Stop trying to do. It's like when somebody says, "I need to make a hit song."
I will say, like, they're trying to make good fucking games, but they're not making good games by our standards because we're not the biggest. We're not the largest group. Demographic is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
For them anymore. We
Yeah.
used to be in the 360 Xbox 3, the PS3 360 era. We were definitely like their biggest demo. But now it's a generation below us. It's the kids playing Fortnite and
2 generations.
Call of Duty.
below us.
Yeah, it really is
Three generations
two
below.
generations, baby. But yeah, they are definitely trying to make good games. Like there's no lack of effort here. I just don't think by our standards they are good anymore.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. I feel that there's still a younger audience that, just like in the movie industry, like there's an audience that wants, you know, story-based games or like, you know, games that aren't just live service. The live service model, of course, it's always going to be around. Like we saw that back when the generation younger than us was being marketed for World of Warcraft. And like all those other MMOs that we don't play, like League of Legends and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not that those games aren't good. It's
Hearthstone.
It's that there's a reason that they were good. You know, it's a good analogy would be, it's James Cameron creating technology to make 3D look good in the first Avatar movie, but then every movie 10 years after trying to just shoehorn 3D into the movie because people think 3D is what sold everybody.
Well, they got
on
extra 8
Avatar.
buckets.
You know what I mean? And
Extra $8 a ticket, man. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like he sold it for more tickets, so we'll just put 3D on it, and people will go buy it at the highest presentation. We can only get away with that cheap tactic 3 times, really, before somebody goes, yeah, but if it's not as engaging or as like substantial as Avatar is, then that 3D doesn't immerse me. It's just a gimmick.
It's just
And
bullshit.
That's what I think has been happening with live service. And
I want to take some more calls, Brian.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more in. I want to see who else wants to talk to us before we're out of here. We're almost out of here. It's been a fun show, but I feel like I'm getting pushed up against the wall here with this boss fight. Who are we talking to? Alex?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, man? How you?
Oh, not much, dude. Hanging out.
Hanging out, watching a little Samurai Shodown on the Poorly Played stream. Have you played this game?
Yeah. I have not at all. I've never even heard of this game.
Oh, really?
Is it new or is it old?
It's a 2019 reboot, essentially, of like a classic Neo Geo arcade fighting game. You know, and actually there were like several. Samurai Shodown had like 2 or 3 sequels before this kind of like remake in 2019. But yeah, it's different. It's so... You do so much damage with a blade strike. It's so different than any other fighting game I've ever played. But I do really enjoy it. But you're just chilling, you're hanging out on a hot Wednesday night with your boys Brian and me. Where are we calling in from?
Texas.
Texas.
Hell yeah.
Great to hear it.
Hot as fuck.
Yeah. Humid and everything. Right?
Yeah,
Now-
I wanted to.
Go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to say, Brian's 100% correct about the smaller studio thing happening.
Yeah.
That's actually what I'm doing right now.
Ooh.
We're making like our own game studio, and I'm working on my own game right now. Me and a bunch of friends from college, because what happened is that a lot of myself and my friends who are in the kind of same major, we can't really get jobs because everyone got laid off.
Yeah.
Like one of the guys who works for me, he went to GDC, and he was everyone told him there was like, yeah, you're not gonna get a job for like the next 2 or 3 years because everyone who got laid off.
How fucking disheartening to hear that.
Yeah, it sucks. But they said, you know, you just have to wait till like all the people who got laid off to either fill up those spots or for them to start their own companies, and when they start hiring, that's when you'll start getting work. And then, so I was just like, screw this. I'll just start and make my own thing.
Yeah.
If it makes money, it does. If it doesn't, it's a good portfolio piece.
Well, and you did it, man. You can't ever have the regrets like, oh, what if I would have done it, should have done it, could have done it. Like, you did it. Like, okay, at least you fucking tried, man. Did I get it? Did I get it? Fuck.
I got you.
Yeah, we're definitely trying.
That's all you can do. Like that was one thing that I realized too. Even like 5 years ago, 8 years ago being on the PBS, 5 years ago starting Big Dogs with Frank, 3 years ago making my own stream.
Wait, were you getting an extra cutscene?
Oh, maybe you did win.
No, it said rematch. Maybe I fought so many times, they're like, we're just gonna give you
Yeah, maybe.
some extra shit.
But at some point, it's like, well, fuck it. If I'm not getting it somewhere else, like, I gotta make it happen on my own. And that's what I want. I'm like, I want to work at a radio station. I'm like, do I really want to work at a radio station? No, I don't. I don't want to work for some fucking Sinclair Media and then have my contract be terminated when whoever Regency
iHeartRadio buys them out.
Yeah, somebody buys them out in a year, and then my job is lost because I'm not part of their demo, you know, or I don't. Whatever, even though I'm talented and I could, and if you just tell me I can adapt to anything because I've been doing this for 20 fucking years, then I realize I've been doing this for 20 fucking years. When I write in my LinkedIn profile how many years of editing experience do I have?
Holy shit, I have 20 years.
Since I was in high school, 20 years ago. How much like marketing? When I was younger, I'd be like, oh, I only have like 5 years.
Did I beat her? How did that happen?
I don't know what happened there, but like. That's kind of Alex. That's kind of what I encourage other people, because one, you don't have to be rock star. You just got to be whatever your company is trying to do. And if you're not trying to, that's why I said it earlier. If you're not trying to make a game that's fun for somebody to play, you got to really ask yourself what the fuck you're doing. Because it's you said it earlier, Garrett. It's a toy. Yeah, there's a challenge. I'm not saying don't make challenging games. I'm not saying don't put something difficult in a game. What I'm saying is part of the fun is the challenge, but that challenge needs to be something that makes people want to return to it. That's why I called it a lottery scratcher. Like, there's almost no challenge in scratching the fucking lottery scratcher.
Yeah, it's just here's the luck of the draw.
You're scratching just like you're pressing X, right? Or A, or whatever the fucking button is. So
unless it's a walking simulator.
Right. But like the idea is you're sitting there, you're engaged. And that's what I want out of a game. Engage me. Don't just try to steal my attention so that you can sell me something. I don't mind buying something you're selling, but engage me. Give me a reason to be here, because man, there are too many things out there that require my attention. And when I turn to this thing that's supposed to be fun, if I have to do a job to get it done, I'm telling you right now, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Sounds like a Paradox game. Paradox interactive game like Europa.
Yeah.
Or hard to survive.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what we did with fucking Metal Gear 5. Like, you kind of have to treat it like a passive job to build your FOBs out fully because you have to constantly be managing the game.
True.
And when I was unemployed, that was fabulous. But I'm 37 years old, 38 this year, and I'm like, man, I still want to play video games, but you're telling me I have to collect all of the fucking costumes and
You have to
upgrade them
find the
again?
sand cat?
I have to go through this whole fucking thing, and it's almost exactly the same. It's not like, oh, here's some of the armor that we didn't want you to carry over, or whatever in Tears of the Kingdom. It's no, do the same thing again, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I resonate with what you said with Tears of the Kingdom. I think the thing that bothered me most is that Breath of the Wild was already a reboot, and it felt really weird that for the sequel they did a soft reboot of the reboot. It was like, it's the same thing, but slightly different. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a sequel. Why is it a
It should have
reboot
taken
of
your...
a game that came-
I can't believe it didn't
so
take
weird.
your save data and read it.
It does, but the only thing you carry over is your fucking horse.
Yeah, I can't believe that's the only
so
thing they
weird.
did with that feature.
When you see, so okay, people are like, oh, that's petty, whatever. I'm like, no. Like, you walk into a town, you talk to somebody you spent a fucking age helping with in Breath of the Wild, and they go,
Hi,
whatever
I'm this
happened
person.
to Zelda's swordsman? And I'm like, I'm standing in front of you. Are you fucking
Yeah,
serious?
it's
Because I'm not holding the Master Sword, you don't know it's me? No. I'm not, listen, even a child would be like, no, this is bullshit. I did all this work. I built Tari Town. I made all of these things, and more than half the people don't even know who I am anymore. So it made me
that's crazy.
so mad.
That's what I was like. It doesn't make any sense because I guess the reason why they were like, okay, well, we'll do the same map, but we'll make the map different, so it's fun to see how the map's different. Okay.
It's a little different,
But then
yeah.
why does all the characters don't remember you, and why is there no like building on the story?
That's
like a real
interesting. I didn't
sequel?
know that.
That
sucks.
Crazy.
That's what made me the most
Why did they
mad.
ignore everything that happened in the last one?
Yeah, that's
it's
weird
like almost
for
like
Nintendo.
That's so weird.
It
It's like,
felt-
oh, all the divine beasts are gone, all the shrines are gone. Don't worry about that. Calamity Gammon? What the hell is that?
I could totally get the Divine Beast being gone because that was part of the upheaval or whatever it was called in the first game, the Calamity.
And you remedied it all,
and you
maybe.
remedied it, so
Okay.
it went away. The mythical beasts aren't needed anymore, even though, again, I'm caveating here. I could see that being going away, but they spent so much fucking time making them important in the last game that for them to disappear in the next game, I'm just like, it's only been like a few years between, or like a year between the first game and the second game. So for everybody to just have your character amnesia, that's the part that I felt insulted for, where people didn't even recognize Link anymore.
That's wild. I didn't know that. Because I never got that far
Yeah.
in Breath of the Wild. I didn't realize that. That's
You meet enough people that
very
are like,
interesting for Nintendo to put that out.
Yeah, it really just invalidated everything I did in the first game, and it would just, to me, I'm just like, why? Why did you choose to like erase that?
Yeah,
Like,
that is
even-
interesting.
Even story-wise, and that's why I pointed to Yakuza earlier, because even if you didn't experience it by playing Yakuza 1, Yakuza 2, whatever, going through the line, there's a reference there that goes, oh, I remember this guy from having to help him with issue he had, and like Metal Gear does that too. That when
Everything's connected, yeah.
Right, in Metal Gear 2, they talk about, like, oh yeah, the Shadow Moses, and they give you a rundown of why that was important in a way that's meaningful. It doesn't ignore the occurrences of that game. Like the guy who saved Hyrule, nobody remembers.
That's glaring, dude. That is fun. That's a really good point, you guys.
I mean,
Well, hey, we're getting towards the end of the show. Alex, did you have anything else for us before we let you go?
Yeah, what was this wheel spin thing?
Oh, are you
okay.
are you putting your name in as the first? Now, normally you'd say wheel spin, we just give it to you. But Vector enacted an anti-wheel spin edict, so now we're one tick out of two, and there is one more caller. So I think, if you don't mind, Alex, we'll say goodnight, and we'll go to Area 52 man who's on the phone. We'll see if they want a wheel spin as well, and then we can make it happen for you.
Sure.
Okay, thanks for calling, brother.
Thank you.
Area 52 man, we're dropping you in.
Sup?
Brian, we beat the game.
We did?
I swear to God, it said what's your name won. But
Maybe because you died, it gave you like a sad ending.
I died 10 times at the boss, so they're like, we'll give you the sad ending. We'll give you the credits.
Yeah.
Hey,
Stop.
Area 52 man, how the hell are you?
Doing great. How are you guys?
We're just finishing up Samurai Shodown. Looks like we beat the game. Hey, I gotta ask you, are you interested in a wheel spin, brother?
You know what? I've been waiting all night. Give it to me.
Okay, here we go. For Alex and Area 52 man. Area 52 man, please stay on the phone with us. I've locked in the timpani. What are you looking for on the wheel? Any ideas?
God, I hope it's you. Oh, you weren't asking me.
No, for
No.
Mr. 52 man.
You know, show feet is always perfect.
Yes.
Okay, here it comes.
He's a feetman.
Back to the big spin, baby.
Spin to win. We got Deathbox a couple weeks ago.
We got
too.
Deathbox
That
a
was
couple
fun.
weeks ago. That was a bad one. Here we go.
Fuck yes.
No!
Oh yeah, baby.
All right.
I brought slides.
Beautiful.
So,
Randy, this is for you.
now, this, well, it's not for Ranty, it's for Area 52 man and our previous caller, Alex. Area 52 man, how you doing? Is this everything you dreamed for?
You know what? It's everything and more.
All right.
The Bryan cam, just, you know, perfect. I'm saving this for later. Don't ask for what.
Was he okay?
I'm just fucking with this chair.
Is he okay? Is he okay? Oh shit! Oh shit! Area 52 man! We gotta go!
Did we kill Bryan?
He's here! Oh my god!
Oh, sweet lord.
Flying out of the car, want to press rest, and when I get the tow truck man pull over the side of the road, I can talk to him freshly. I didn't catch that. I heard 83. You heard 83? You guys got 83? That's all I want. That's all I said. You guys got 83. All right, swinging, time swinging, jump through like this. Scale covered! Someone cannon everything off, money good, money rescue, money bow, yeah. Serpent's tongue! Okay? Yeah, sure. That's it, like silent! Like
off of this right now.